Hello everybody, my name is Ochrisseus, and welcome to Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishments. I've actually had this game for a while. I like Sherlock Holmes. I'm a big fan of detective stuff, so I thought, let's make videos about this, see how that goes. Sorry if my voice sounds a little off. I have been having a stuffy nose for quite a while. Let's see. Which is weird because I don't normally have allergies. In memory of the Eucarnian Heavenly Hundred. Interesting. Oh, that's loud. I'm gonna turn that down. Hopefully it doesn't turn my mic volume down, but I'm turning my headphones down. I do like this. The little dendrites. I cannot remember what they're called right now. Oh, they're the cells in your brains. The dendrites are the little branches going off of them. But neurons, there we are. Neurons, okay. I've never played a Sherlock Holmes game before, so we shall see how this goes. I'm usually good at solving things in detective shows and figuring out movies pretty quickly, so hopefully that continues in this game. Is that Watson?
Holmes.
Brave man. Take cover by the sofa.
Holmes, will you stop that?
Take cover over here.
You are utterly mad.
Oh, alright.
Stop, Holmes!
Is that you, Watson?
Yes, of course it is. And you almost killed me.
Nonsense. I was aiming for the vases.
Blindfolded?
Watson, quiet, please. I'm trying to concentrate. Ah, Lestrade. What is it this time?
He can see me. Well, here it is, and it's a good one, Mr. Holmes. A gentleman by the name of Peter Carey, also known as Black Peter, has been murdered.
A sailor, most probably.
What happened here?
Oh, Mr. Holmes, how could you?
It's the only exercise I've had all week. A grateful client from Limoges sent me a vase collection this morning. I couldn't think of a better use for it.
You're out of your mind.
Holmes.
I missed 4 out of 10.
Given you were blindfolded, that was very good. Can I have a try?
Am I the only sane one here?
I suppose that Watson is right, Inspector. A little brain work would be preferable now. Do please tell us more about Black Peter.
Peter Carey, born in 1845 and 50 years old. An ambitious sort, he achieved much success in seal and whale hunting around Scandinavia. Retired in 1884 with a small fortune. He invested his money in a property called Woodman's Lee, near Forest Row in Sussex. It was where he lived for 6 years, and where he was found dead yesterday.
Has the investigation already begun?
Yes and no. In fact, this crime is so mysterious that I would prefer you to join me down there.
Give me half an hour to prepare, Inspector.
Take your time and join me there. I have to go through the yard first. The merry men struck again.
What have they done this time?
They robbed a powder reserve. I'll meet you at Woodman's Lee, Mr. Holmes.
I should help Mrs. Hudson here. I also have several appointments that I must keep this afternoon.
I shall go alone, then.
I don't know how that's gonna go. Sherlock walking around without Watson. Press square to open the casebook and check your current progress in the investigation, task, evidence, etc. Casebook, evidence. Peter Carey, also known as Black Peter, born in 1845, and so 50 years old. He achieved great success in whale hunting in Scandinavia, Retired in 1884, eventually moving to Woodsman Lee. Okay, that's all we heard in the cutscene. Anything else? Is this the fast travel thing? Well, before I check that out, let me talk to Watson. Oh.
You go along to Peter Carey's house. Mrs. Hudson and I will take care of the mess you've made here.
Quite a mess, in fact. Mrs. Hudson.
Oh, what a mess! What a terrible mess!
How did he hit one on either side, but he missed the one in the middle? And same over here. Okay. Anything else? Letters?
My archive.
Newspapers?
I can always consult with it if needed. This is where I keep my post.
Okay, can I read your
This is
post?
where
There's
I
a letter
keep my
there.
post.
I cannot.
My archive. I can always consult with it if needed.
Oh. Can I get dressed? Or will I just automatically get dressed when I continue
A
on?
map of London and the surrounding area. It could be useful.
It could be. You already have one, though. Okay. I want to see if I can fast travel using this one. What is this right here? Tasks investigate the murder of Peter Carey, inspect the crime scene at Woodman Lee, and select a suit to wear using your personal wardrobe and join the strike. Okay, that's what I'm trying to do. Can I go through this door? I think this said something about Watson's room. So I'm invading Watson's room. I figured this was my room. I see no wardrobe except this, but it gives me no option to open it. But if I open this door, it just wants to take me there. And again, oh wait, I did not see this door here.
My archive.
Thank you. Now I can promptly dress. Let's see. No. Kinda like that. Really like that. Alright. Brown suit. Brown suit screams detective. Green suit. Gray suit. Light suit. Bandit outfit. Farmer outfit. What again? Okay. We're going to go investigate someone's death. We have to look nice, but we can't look too nice, or we might not get the right amount of information. I don't know how detailed this game is, but if you look too nice to people that you're talking to, they might not give you the information if they're lower class people. I think that's who we're going to go see, so I'm going to go with the unbuttoned suit. Select. Oh, I can't. It's locked. So I can choose my casual suit, my black suit, brown suit, green suit, gray suit, light suit. Everything else is locked. Okay. Casual suit it is. Makeup table. Oh. Interesting. Well, so oh, everything I'm choosing is locked. Okay. That's also locked. I got one hairstyle. And everything else is locked. Okay. That's fine. Okay. Anything else I need from in here? I'm not used to controlling this game, so I'm gonna run into random stuff all the time. Okay, let's go. Bam. Okay, you can't fast travel from your notebook. Let us see.
Mr. Holmes, I'm over here. Come on.
Doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo. see footprints, and I see a detective. Can I talk to said detective? I cannot. Oh. Cool, cool. Land around the zone pathway, footprints. Examine said footprints.
These footprints appear to be quite large.
And they seem to be in the style of a male shoe. Okay. Anything else? I guess I can't talk to that detective. Also, which way are they heading? They're heading towards the house. Anything else? I think it said something about examining the garden. Yeah, right there.
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
Okay. Anything else before I... What do you got to say, sir?
Mr. Holmes?
Mr. Patrolman?
Mr. Holmes?
Okay. Can I come in here? Cannot come in here. Don't see anything else. Bam, bam, bam. You got anything to say to me?
Mr. Holmes?
Same as the last guy? Okay. Oh, and cutscene time.
Inspector Lestrade, when will you remove my husband's body? It's sacrilegious to leave him here like this.
As soon as we can, Mrs. Carey, I assure you. Allow me to introduce you to Mr. Sherlock Holmes. He's a detective. No doubt you've heard of him. I'll wait for you in front of the cabin, Mr. Holmes.
My condolences, Mrs. Carey.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
Do you remember at what time you found your husband's body?
In the morning, at around 7 o'clock, I noticed the cabin door was open, but I didn't go in to take a look, for I knew my husband would not have liked it. At around 10 o'clock, I dared to glance in through the door and... oh dear.
Okay. Let's see if there's a gardener.
The garden is very large and well maintained. Do you employ someone to look after it?
It is true, there is a lot of work, but my husband took care of it himself.
Interesting. Visitors?
Was your husband accustomed to receiving visitors?
Oh no, I don't think so. I mean, he didn't really have many friends. He lived quite an isolated life here, after his retirement.
You seem a little upset about that.
Madam, can you tell me if you saw or heard anything unusual upon the night of the murder?
At 2 o'clock in the morning, I heard a terrible scream. But I thought nothing of it then. He would scream all the time when he was drunk.
You also
Can you
look a
please
little
tell
well
me
put
what
together.
occurred on the evening of the murder?
Well, Peter got drunk in the evening. He was in such a terrible temper. Usually whenever that happened, he'd stay all night drinking in his cabin before passing out.
Okay. Bam. What can I notice? Nothing so far. She's not missing any buttons. She has a rosary here. And a Bible, I think? Okay. I'm missing one oh, there we go.
You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. Nevertheless, I believe it will be less of a burden for you soon.
Yes, life with Peter was never easy, but he was still my husband.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh my goodness, but how do you know about that?
You undertook a pilgrimage to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela when you were young. That much is evident from the rosary in your hand. The shortest route for the pilgrim from England to Spain is from Plymouth. I believe that you met Peter Carey as a young sailor there, and you married him soon afterwards.
That is indeed what happened, Mr. Holmes. How extraordinary.
Well, he's on Mr. Holmes for
Thank
nothing.
you, madam.
There was other things I could have talked to her about,
Who could
but...
do such a thing? My poor husband.
So I think what he's currently working on is that she killed him or met someone who killed him.
Mr. Holmes?
What are my current tasks right now? Evidence, okay. I have evidence on Judith Carey. Let me read this real quick. Judith Carey is a woman with an uneasy life due to her unhappy marriage with Peter. She's a very religious Christian Catholic woman who undertook a St. James Way pilgrimage when she was very young. The well-kept garden. There's identified footprints left recently on a patch of wet earth at Woodman's Lee. They may have been left by the murderer. Perhaps I could find a pair of boots that would match them. And then I think this is the victim, right? Yeah. Okay. Oh, I do have something over here. Judith is from the country, somewhere near the ancient pine woods of... I'm not going to begin to pronounce those few words. In Scotland, where the crested tip bird can be found. She's religious and undertook a St. James Way pilgrimage to the Cathedral of Santiago. Okay, I already knew all of that. Don't seem to have anything else to do other than to examine everything. And it won't let me talk to her again.
Such a thing. My poor husband.
So let's check out... should I go check out the body? Because I think the body's in there. But can I see anything in the house first? Can I... Nope. Cannot get in here. Don't see anything here. Oh, it makes the birds louder too. Oh, I cannot walk over those. Fine, that's fine. Can I go? Nope. Alright. Can I sprint in any fashion?
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
Yes. Hello, Lestrade.
Peter Carey's body is inside the cabin. We took care not to touch anything.
Good, that didn't happen much in the 1800s, or even up until, like, the 70s and 80s. People would contaminate crime scenes so much.
The door is locked.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Holmes, and I'll open it. I locked it yesterday to ensure that no one should enter the cabin and tamper with the evidence.
Ah, good thinking.
Hello.
What is it, Lestrade?
It seems to me that someone has tried to force it, Mr. Holmes.
Let me see.
What can I see? Examining the door. I know I'm supposed to examine the lock. Hello? There we go.
These scratches are fresh.
You can tell some fresh
You're right.
scratches by how
Someone
shiny the
tried
metal
to force
underneath
open
is.
the door.
I swear these scratches were not here yesterday.
Our mysterious visitor came here last night.
Well, he's not the man for the job. This lock is not a difficult one.
Perhaps he did not have the right tool.
Let us go into the door and examine, hopefully, the body. There we go. Okay.
What a terrible way to die.
Alright. Before I go and talk to him, let me look at this shelf. Anything interesting here?
The tooth of a sperm whale, probably from one of Peter Carey's catches.
Alright, sperm whale tooth. Can I look at any outline in the dust?
This
Boom.
place is not covered with dust, like the rest of the shelf.
Which
An
means there
object was taken from here, It was larger than a book, a box or a small chest, perhaps.
Oh no, it's fine. You can steal my thunder. I was about to say something very similar. Map? Probably of the area he used to fish. Nothing I can glean from here. Okay. Anything about the corners messed up? No. No, nothing. Nothing hidden behind the map. Alright. Ship's logs.
The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain.
Yes, we already know that. I'll have some more evidence. Let's see, wooden chest first, then the harpoons. Okay, harpoons. Look here, Mr. Holmes. If you're not going to crouch for me, or do anything.
Peter Carey's boots. They look to be a size 8.
Cool, thank you. You can at least follow what I want you to do.
Old navigation instruments. Nothing interesting.
Okay, it just popped me out of there, so I guess I looked at everything in there that I can look at. Harpoon racks.
For hunting whales.
Oh, they got a pretty nifty whale over there. Table. Looking at the bodies, maybe not always the first thing. 2 glasses.
Someone drank from this glass recently. Someone drank from this glass.
Huh? Tobacco pouch.
This aroma is familiar, but to recognize it, I must construct my associations in one picture.
Interesting. That's gonna be fun. Rotate. Okay. It's a ship. I see the ship. How do I make him see the ship? Tilt, tilt, tilt. There we go. There's no getting this ship any better than it is. Like, that is the full ship. So now all I have to do is figure out that goes here. This goes here. Bam.
Yes.
Booyah.
This is a coarse tobacco, quite strong and very popular among sailors.
That took longer than it should have. But now I know how they go, and the next should be better. And I could have told you that just by looking at this. Look at it. He obviously had this thing for years, even back when he was sailing. The PC. What was the victim's name? Was it PC? Or was it not?
Rum, a sailor's drink. It seemed that Captain Carey was enjoying a drink before he met his death.
Uh-huh. And I'd go so far as to say he had a friend with him because there are 2 glasses there. And where's his pipe if his tobacco is here? Alright, is there anything else? That might be his pipe. Is there anything else I can examine before the body?
The Sea Unicorn. She was the ship that Peter Carey commanded.
Yes. Okay, body time. That's a knife. Bloody knife. Notebook. Trying to read what that says. It has 3 initials on the front cover of it. Rotate it down here. It is soaked in blood. Don't know exactly what you want me to look at, Mr. Holmes. So I'm examining this, and without opening it, there's not much to look at. It's covered in blood, but of course it is, because it was laying in the victim's pool of blood. Alright, I'm gonna... Oh wait, hold on. Hold up, hold up. Hold up.
JHN are probably the initials of the owner of this notebook.
Yes. That it, though? That all you got for me? Blood. Examine.
The pattern of the blood stain indicates that the notebook was not lying on the floor prior to the crime, but it was dropped into the pool of blood after the death of Peter Carey.
Yeah, because there's none on the... Okay, yeah, I can see that. I think that's everything I can get from that notebook. Knife. Bam.
This wooden handle is plain and solid. This blood is from the pool underneath the dead body. Peter Carey tried to defend himself with this knife, but he did not succeed.
Here's my question. When I was done with the knife, he put it away. So am I not done with the notebook? Oh, I can open it.
These abbreviations mean something, but what?
Okay, there we go. I'm getting a hold of this game. It's pure shit.
Peter Carey was impaled to the wall by a whaling harpoon.
Yes, he was.
The weapon fully penetrated the body. The force of the blow was immense.
Yes.
Peter Carey was fully dressed. He was not caught by surprise. It is possible that he knew his murderer.
I'm still saying they had a drink together. Okay, do anything else? I don't know what that triangle's for. Let me look at this. Let me hit triangle. Oh, hold on. Let me... Yes, I know. I'll do that after I look at the face.
This man is in his 50s, yet he still looks quite strong.
Alright, so I've completely examined Peter Carey. I'm aware. Let me make sure that there's nothing for me to examine on the map.
How fast?
So here?
Dundee. It's a whaling map.
I was aware of that. Okay. I just want to make sure I got all the information I can before I continue. Got that. Is there anything left for you?
The initials PC have been crudely burned.
Peter Carey?
Sailor's work.
Wow, that's all I was missing from that. Alright, so this is a very detail-oriented, Oh! I've completely inspected everything. Cool. What you got for me? Bam. Tobacco pouch made from the sealskin, which was on the table inside Peter Carey's cabin. The initials PC have been crudely burned into it. A sailor's work, yep. Boots, Peter Carey's boots, they appear to be size 8. I wonder if I can go measure those things, the prints outside. Outline in the dust. The cabin in the... the outline in the dust on one of Carey's shelves looks as if something has been recently removed. It is larger than a book, a box, or a small chest. Perhaps. Yes, I kind of strung all those together. Let me examine these and see if I can measure them to see if they're a size 8. Look to be too big.
These
Or too
boots
small.
Don't match the footprints.
When I said too big, I meant the footprints were too big, but he was talking about the boots. So, now that I have that done, can I get an approximate size on these?
These footprints appear to be quite large.
Evidence required. Okay, let's start making deductions real quick. Pin to the wall, notebook, break-in attempts. Break-in attempts should link up with... Nope. These two clues are related. Notebook. Okay. Break-in attempt, connect with the notebook. An ambush supposed to be made tonight to see if break-in attempts will be repeated. Okay.
Someone was here yesterday. They attempted to force the door to gain entry.
Okay, hold on, I'm not done yet. I'm still making deductions. Or do I have to do the ambush before anything else? Okay, time to do an ambush. I will get the hang of this game. There we go. What do you have for me? Oh, just information on Peter Carey. Nothing we don't know from looking at the evidence. His age, the fact that he commanded the sea unicorn. Something about his retirement, which I think was just last year, right? Something like that? Oh no, 6 years. Okay. Boom. Boom. Okay, I guess I'll make an ambush.
Well, Mr. Holmes, what do you think?
I think that we are lucky.
And why is that?
Because of last night's attempted break-in.
Oof, you've lost me.
It is very probable that whoever came here hoped to find the door open. They tried to force it with a knife blade, but they failed. What will they do? Why, return tonight, when they will be better prepared.
Aha! So what do you propose?
We shall remain on the outside, near the window, where we stand the best chance of catching sight of our visitor. Well, gentlemen, ready your pistols. We have a long night ahead of us.
Why not be inside? Alright, is there anything else I can do?
Mr. Holmes?
We need to find a good place for an ambush.
Oh, I have to
Perhaps
find the
behind
place for the
Carey's
ambush.
cabin, near the window.
Well, if I could walk through gaps that a person could easily walk through... it would be a bit easier.
This looks like the perfect hiding place.
Yes, because when you're going to go break into a crime scene, you're not going to check all around the building you're breaking into. The best chance is to be inside. Synapses. Excuse me.
Shh! Did you hear that?
Yeah, just talk so they might hear you. Doors open, young man.
There's someone there. I'm gonna collar him.
I'll be right behind you.
Love that little cop just not doing anything. Let us go. Wish I could run, but I guess Sherlock Holmes takes his time on everything.
Mr. Holmes?
Oh,
All
I
right,
missed
my
some.
fine fellow. Who are you and what are you doing here?
You're detectives, I suppose. You imagine that I'm connected with the death of Captain Carey. I assure you I'm innocent.
Innocence? And what are you doing in his cabin?
Shall I tell you? You came to retrieve what you had lost after killing Peter Carey, but we were here waiting for you.
What is your name?
John Hopley Nelligan, but I didn't...
Do you deny that you came here yesterday?
No, but yes, it's just that I couldn't...
I'm tired of this. Off we go to the yard. Tomorrow, I'll see that you're put in front of the judge.
What?
Could I
But you
examine him?
can't. I'm not... It's a terrible mistake.
Enough. You can explain all of that to the judge. You're coming with me to the yard.
But...
In light of recent events, it seems evident that your coming here was unnecessary. All the same, I'm very grateful to you, Mr. Holmes.
You are welcome, Inspector. But please don't be too hard on our young fellow. I would like to question him tomorrow morning.
The case isn't solved yet, is it? Because I have other things. It's possible he's not the guilty party. So I'm going to be heading to Scotland Yard. Let's go to Scotland Yard. I don't know if these are going to be case by case. I don't know how many cases are in here, the videos, or if I'm just going to have a time limit on them.
Mr. Holmes?
I feel like every cop's just going to say Mr. Holmes. You got nothing for me? Okay.
Good morning, Mr. Holmes. Can I help you?
Good morning, Constable. I would like to speak to the fellow who was arrested at Woodman's Lee last night.
Ah, the young man. He's waiting in the interrogation room. You can go straight through. His belongings are held in the evidence room.
Thank you.
Alright. Ooh, can I visit the evidence room? Where's the evidence room? I need to look at his belongings, please. I want to know what he had on him. Staff room. This is Inspector Lestrade's office. That's the morgue. I have no interest in that right now. Evidence room. Bam. Let's go. Is this Peter Carey? Or not? No, that's wrong. Okay.
These are the suspect's belongings.
What do we have? Handkerchief?
With the initials J.H.N.
Just like on the notebook.
The notebook that we found on Peter Carey's cabin floor. These abbreviations mean something.
Okay, so I need
What?
evidence for that. Here's a ring. What do you say on the inside? Do. From R. Dawson to my friend and partner, 1883.
And partner, 1883.
Oh, you're gonna make me.
From R. Dawson. To my friend, Dawson. I've seen this name before. Perhaps my archive holds the answer.
Got that. And of course, pocket knife.
Pocket knife. It was used to force the door of Peter Carey's cabin.
It's interesting, he tried a knife the night before and it didn't work. Anything else in here I can glean from? No. Ooh. Alright. Let's talk to Lestrade.
Locked.
Oh, never mind. Where's the interrogation room? That's the morgue. I'm gonna go into the morgue. I'm going to the morgue. Don't know why I'm going to the morgue, but I'm going to the morgue. Because I can. Can I get any new information on Peter Carey while I'm here? I mean, he was obviously killed by the harpoon, but there was no reason for me to come here. Alright, let's go. I figured a door that was unlocked is a door I could have examined. I'm assuming I go this way, and I'm assuming this is the interrogation room. Wait, I need my Mr. Holmes.
Mr. Holmes?
Thank you. What you got for me, John? Notebook.
Does this notebook belong to you?
Yes. But where did you find it? I did not know... I thought I'd lost it at the hotel.
What do these abbreviations mean?
Oh, no. I beg you, I can't. If I told you, it would only make things worse.
But I will find out eventually, Mr. Nelligan.
I always do.
The sea knife was found near Carey's body. Tell me, Mr. Nelligan, did Mr. Carey try to defend himself or to attack you with it?
I don't know. I didn't kill anyone.
The police seized this valuable ring from you. Whose is it?
I didn't steal it from anyone. It has always belonged to me.
I could do the ring's engravings, but I might have something on Dawson later in my archive. Would like to do something about the footprints. They could have come from the night before the murder. So they could be useless, but they could also be the murderer's footprints. And this kid doesn't look like he's got bigger feet than Peter. Rings engravings.
The ring's date of engraving is many years ago. You would have been a child then, hardly in any position to receive such an item from a partner.
Can I do anything else? No. Okay. I can't. Shabby cap. Oh yeah, I already know his clothes are all patched up and poor. Expensive fabric. Elaborate buttons. It's too short for him. This is what I was really interested in. Calluses and scars on his hands. And one more thing. I need one more thing. Come on. Okay, we're going around again. Going around again. I mean, I think I got everything. I'm missing something. I shall not give up. Ah! Thindick. Okay.
So, Mr. Nelligan, who is the true owner of the ring?
The ring is mine.
Never mind.
No! I wanted to see what happened
So, Mr. Nelligan,
when
who
it
is
went
the
to
true
the square.
owner of the ring?
The ring is mine.
Give him a second and boom.
No, Mr. Nelligan. I believe that the ring had belonged to your father.
Oh, but how do you know?
The jacket you are wearing is made of an expensive fabric that only a man of exceptional wealth could afford. You do not seem to me to be a rich man, Mr. Nelligan. Furthermore, the garment is ill-fitting. It is quite clear that it belonged to someone else, most probably your father. With your father gone and taking with him the family's wealth, as a little boy you had to find yourself a manual job, and it was most probably cleaning fish. You cut your hands often while working. I can tell from the scars.
I'm speechless, Mr. Holmes. It all happened exactly as you say.
Well, I will see you soon, young man.
Please, let me go. I'm innocent.
Bam. So now I have a new profile on this kid. Nelligan is approximately 19 years old. He was raised in wealth, but after the desertion of his father 10 years ago, he and his family fell into poverty. He worked to earn money by cleaning fish. Despite undertaking such manual work for a considerable time, Nelligan remains physically weak. Okay. Deductions. Break-in attempts. And Nelligan's notebook. I know they go together. Don't know why I didn't link them together. What do you tell me to do here? Boom. The break-in attempts were made in order to recover the notebook that had been lying in the victim's pool of blood. This proves the guilt of the person who made these attempts. Now, what I do know about this game is there are multiple people you can charge with the crime and only one is guilty, so you can possibly send an innocent person to jail. I don't know if you'll know if they're innocent, but you can do that. Is there any other deductions I can make? Swift actions and pinned to the wall. What do you got for me? We need to find out whether an unskilled and untrained man could use a harpoon well enough to kill by fully piercing a body. I don't think John could.
I need to stage a reconstruction. I'm sure that Watson would be happy to oblige.
Just don't kill Watson, Holmes. Alright. Tess. Investigate the murder of Peter Carey. John Elegant seems not to be a usual thief. What was his role in all that? Watson will be glad to help with preparations for a harpoon throwing experiment. I don't know if the harpoon was thrown or jabbed. Let's see. Alright, so if I'm going to talk to Watson, I need to get back to Baker Street. Watson, my good man, where are you?
A spot of whaling, Watson. Would you care to take part?
Are you serious?
No, but we do need to clarify what happened on the night of Black Peter's murder.
A reenactment?
Oh, doorbell.
Is
Interesting.
something bothering you?
The sailor's knife, Watson. Why was it on the floor?
Peter Carey attempted to defend himself?
It is possible. But if that is the case, then it alters many things.
I don't quite follow you.
Tell me, my friend, what is the animal closest to man, morphologically, I mean?
Ah, I see what you're getting at, Holmes. You asked me that once before. On the Ripper case, I believe.
Oh, I would have
Do you
loved
want
to
to
work
slit
on
some
that.
more pigs' throats?
No.
Goodness for that.
I wish to impale one with a harpoon.
Wonderful.
Watson, let us pay a visit to our butcher friend in Whitechapel. We require the carcass of a well-fed pig.
And the harpoon?
One of the harpoons on the wall of Black Peter's cabin should do quite nicely.
To be fair, I don't think a Whitechapel pig would be fed nicely. Okay, so do I have to go to Peter's house to grab the harpoon? I would have loved to, if there is a game, I don't know if this is the first or if it's a sequel, if there is a game involving the Ripper, I would love to work on it. I know the Ripper's never been solved, the Ripper case has never been solved, so you wouldn't exactly, get a definitive answer, but I have studied the Ripper case for quite a while.
That should do it.
Thank you for
Now
this
I am
harpoon.
ready for the experiment.
Anything else I can look at while I'm here? No? Okay. Off to Whitechapel Butcher. But yeah, the reason I said I don't think a Whitechapel Butcher would be well fed is simply because Whitechapel in this era was super, super, super poor all the time. Hence why the Ripper was able to get away all the time. The police were quite busy elsewhere.
Well, here we are in the preparation room. I can't say that I like the smell of it much. What do you intend to do?
To indulge myself in a little experiment. The challenge of lancing a pig's carcass with a heavy harpoon.
A little experiment?
Stand aside, Watson. This might be dangerous. I am not well practiced in this exercise. Yet.
Holmes, you should aim for the mark in order to perform the most reliable test.
Okay. Boom, boom, boom. And then how do I... And I throw with X? Okay. Cool.
Holmes, you should try to aim better. and throw as hard as you can.
Alright, I know if I hit the white portion, that's probably the hardest I can throw. I was not focused on aiming for the white portion. I was focused on...
The harpoon has struck the body, but with insufficient strength to pierce it straight through.
Okay. And throw.
This is the best possible result that I could get. Do you see, Watson? Throwing a harpoon and pinning a man to a wall requires either exceptional strength and training or diabolical luck. Let us leave now.
All right. But before we go, I suppose I'll have to pay for all these carcasses you've happily mangled.
Very well, but please hurry.
Of course.
Okay, hopefully that didn't do too much. If I'm missing about a second or so of dialogue, that is because my video stopped recording and I had to start re-recording it. But basically, Watson was just complaining about having to pay for the pigs, and he said that it was not just luck that got the harpoon spear. That was not the worst I could have done. Alright, so now we're going to go... I'm assuming to Scotland Yard to talk to Lestrade. There's no way that kid could have thrown the harpoon to kill him, so he was not, at least, he was not the killer. He might have known who the killer was and might be connected to the killing, but he was not the killer in and of himself. Anything I can do to Lestrade? Interesting lady there.
Mr. Holmes?
Mr. Bobby? Lestrade's office.
Locked.
It's locked. Okay. Can I talk once again to this kid?
What am I doing here? I've done nothing wrong.
Well, I cannot interrogate him anymore, it seems. And I can't mess with that guy. Okay. So, am I heading back to Baker Street? So, my guess would be consult Watson in my archives to see what they have. So, what's Watson got to say?
Good gracious, you caught someone. At least now you have a suspect.
Suspect, but I don't think he's the guilty party. I love that. I want one of those in my house. Alright, archives. I'm going to be searching for... Dawson and Nelligan investment found bankrupt, Nelligan missing. The Dawson and Nelligan Investment Fund, a regional banking institution based in Cornwall, has declared bankruptcy as a result of heavy losses in its loan portfolio and has accordingly been assigned for liquidation. It was the 23rd largest bank in Britain, and its bankruptcy was the second largest on record. The liquidation of the company is a pure catastrophe for many Cornwall families. Joshua Nelligan, one of the bankers, has since mysteriously disappeared. He was last seen aboard his yacht preparing for departure to Norway. Nelligan is wanted both by the police and his creditors. So either A, Nelligan was killed by his partner who was embezzling, or B, Nelligan was the one that was embezzling, and Peter Cornwall somehow found out about it and blackmailed him, and that's why.
Here it is.
Okay.
Now I begin to understand that young man's story, but I am still unclear as to what connects him with the murder. It is time to ask him.
Let us go. Okay, cool. So, back to the interrogation room we go. I don't know why I'm going over there when the compass is over here. I've done that several times now. Scotland Yard. It makes sense that it was not just simple loans that were going wrong that bankrupted the company. I'm assuming someone was embezzling, one of the two partners. If Nelson really did run away, it would make sense that he was the one that was embezzling and he was trying to get away. to keep from being arrested. But if he did not actually run away and he was in fact killed, it would make sense that his partner was the one that was embezzling. But that wouldn't do anything for Peter Cornwall. I believe Peter whoever. Black Peter. Dawson and Nelligan.
I have heard the story of Dawson and Nelligan, the West Country bankers.
Yes, Joshua Nelligan was my father.
I am aware that it had a bad ending. When the bank failed, it ruined half the families of Cornwall, whereupon Joshua Nelligan disappeared.
My father was under extraordinary pressure. Dawson had retired. I was only 10 years of age at the time, but it was still old enough to feel the shame that befell our family. My father was convinced that he could pay off all his debts if the creditors gave him time. He set sail for Hammerfest in Norway in his small yacht, just a few days before an arrest warrant was issued. He left my mother a list of the securities he was taking. No word was ever heard from him again. We believe that his vessel went down, taking with it everyone and everything on board.
Thank you for the story, Mr. Nelligan. At last, we are making some progress. Interesting. Joshua Nelligan and Peter Carey were both at sea in Norway. There is definitely some connection between Peter Carey and Joshua Nelligan's disappearance.
Is that like that so they can lower it and shove it in the person's face, kind of like we do with lamps now? Interesting. Okay, so now I am going to, that's the wrong button. Oh, I'm gonna read what this says first. Investigate the murder. Peter Carey. John Duncan seems to not be usually. Ship's log for the year 1883 might put some light in the connection between Peter Carey. I know where the ship's log is, and I was going to head in this direction anyway. I was going to try and talk to the wife to see what she knew about his time at sea around that time. Peter Carey retired in 1884, so the year after that happened, I wonder. Interesting. If it had anything to do with the banker who disappeared. This is what I like about detective work. You can think of so many different possibilities and scratch so many off, and so many more just pop up until you find the right one.
That's the one I need.
What do you have
This
for me?
is the crew list of the Sea Unicorn.
Okay. Peter Carey, Master Charles Anson, first mate, Henry Joy, second mate. Okay, is this just them and what they do? Is there any Nelligan?
Log notes for June. Nothing unusual. Log notes for July. Nothing special. Log notes for August. These pages have been torn away.
There we go. Tuesday, August, rather squally wind through the day, good night. Six, squally wind. Is that what all these look like? Okay, nothing really great to look at. Let's look at this.
Canadian Pacific Railway, CPR. A torn piece from a bond certificate. I have seen this abbreviation somewhere very recently. There are 3 ways of discovering what happened in August of 1883 aboard the Sea Unicorn. The first 2 of these will require speaking with a dead man. The last would be to locate vital witnesses, the sailors involved in this whale hunt campaign.
So let's locate vital witnesses. Now I will say this has gone on for over an hour, so I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here. I think this is a good little stopping point. I will pick it up later. Hopefully y'all enjoy this. I've actually quite enjoyed it now that I have a good understanding of how the game works. Not a good understanding, but a decent understanding. So hopefully y'all enjoyed. Let me know what you think. Let me know as of right now what y'all think happened and why he was killed. If you do know why, if you've played this game or you've seen someone else play it and you know the actual outcome, please don't put that in the comments. I am very against spoilers. Anyway, hope y'all enjoyed. Until next time, see ya.